I have to teach a class tomorrow and I'm bringing oatmeal cookies. In this video, I hope you can learn a little bit of English and some vocabulary related to baking oatmeal cookies. Here are my ingredients. I'm going to use the recipe off of Quaker Oats, and I'm going to double the recipe because I have a lot of students. This recipe calls for butter. I'll use about 4 sticks of butter, brown sugar. Because I'm doubling the recipe, I'll use 1.5 cups of brown sugar. Sugar, and that will be about 1 cup of sugar. Eggs, I have 4 eggs here. Vanilla, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Flour, I'll use about 3 cups of flour. Baking soda, I'll use 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Cinnamon, I'll use 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Salt, I'll use 1 teaspoon of salt. The oatmeal, I'm using Quaker Oats oatmeal, and raisins. And I'll add in about 2 cups of raisins. These are measuring cups. This is 1 cup and this is 1/2 cup. These are measuring spoons. This is a tablespoon and this is a teaspoon. 3 teaspoons equal 1 tablespoon. I also have a 1/2 teaspoon and there's a 1/4 teaspoon on here, but I probably won't use these. And to mix the ingredients, I'll use a mixing bowl, a wooden spoon, and a whisk. According to this recipe, I'm going to start with the butter, and I'll use almost 4 sticks of butter, softened. I'm doubling the recipe, so I need 3.5 sticks of butter. This is a stick of butter. It's equivalent to 8 tablespoons. And the butter is not softened yet, so I'm going to put it in the microwave for about 20 seconds. I'm stirring up the softened butter, and then I'm going to add the sugar. This recipe requires 1 cup of sugar. So that's almost 1 cup. There's 1 cup. And then I'll add the brown sugar. I'm adding in 1.5 cups of brown sugar. This is a full cup and this is a 1/2 cup. I packed the sugar down into the cup. And now I'm going to stir it together, the sugar and the butter. You can use a mixer instead of a spoon, but I don't have a mixer, so I just use the spoon. Mix this together until it's creamy. Instead of adding the eggs directly to the batter, I'm going to crack these eggs into a bowl. And the reason I'm doing that is to make sure that the eggs are okay. Sometimes you get a bad egg. I'm cracking the eggs into the bowl. When you open an egg like this, you crack it. So I'm going to whisk the eggs with a small whisk. And add the vanilla to the eggs. I need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Once the eggs and the vanilla are all mixed together, then I'm going to add this to the batter. This is called batter. Now I'm using a whisk to mix the eggs and the sugar and the butter and the vanilla. Okay, that's good enough. Now I'm going to mix the dry ingredients together. I need 3 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And now I'll mix this together. After this is all mixed, then I can add it to the batter. I usually add it a little bit at a time. I'm stirring the flour and the salt and the cinnamon and the baking soda into the batter. Once all those ingredients are mixed together, then I can add in the oatmeal. I'm going to add in about 6 cups of oatmeal. It's a good idea to add the oatmeal gradually. I just add in a cup at a time. Next, I'm going to add in the raisins. I'm adding in 2 cups of raisins. 1 box of raisins is about 2 cups. So now I have cookie dough, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for a few hours. It's been a few hours, and I'm going to take the cookie dough out of the fridge and start putting it onto cookie sheets to make cookies. I'm going to use a spoon to scoop the cookie dough onto the baking sheet. It should be about this size. And now I'm ready to put the baking sheet into the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. And now it's time to take the cookies out of the oven. Don't they look good? And I'm going to use a spatula to take the cookies off of the baking sheet and then put them onto a rack where they can cool off. I'm going to put the cookies onto a rack so that they can cool. This is a batch of cookies. And now I'm ready to put the next batch of cookies into the oven. Wow, that's a lot of cookies. I hope my students like them.